Welcome to Espresso Yourself, Mom, Teacher, and Runner Talk, the podcast where lesson plans meet lattes and long runs.
We're four women juggling the journey of motherhood, teaching personal goals, and a whole lot of caffeine.
Here, we keep it real, the messy, the meaningful, and the moments in between.
So grab your coffee and join us for honest conversations, a few laughs, and a reminder that you're not in this alone.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Espresso Yourself. We are going to talk about our September survival and where things are at in our lives now that we've been a month into school and our running life. But before we dive into our September survival, how has this week been for you guys?
For me, it's been okay. Not super busy, but just kind of like a lot of little projects trying to get finished. Running wise, though, it was my highest mileage week and my highest, longest run since January. I was feeling great up until about a couple hours ago, and my hip was like, "Hey, we're a little tight." And I'm like, "Oh." So reminding myself I'm not like 25 anymore and can go run 15 and be like, "Great." No, the 15 hurts a little. So
That's my worry when I go and marathon train starting, I think, in December, where I'm going to get those miles again. Yeah. Yeah.
you'll have body parts just start talking to you like, "What did you do?"
Yeah, I'm going to have to come up with some sort of something that has just immediate recovery because I won't last.
I know I saw your post of 15 and Becky, I think, 9 the other day. I'm like, man, I can't, like, it's been so long since I've done longer runs like that.
Allison, it made me think of you. On part of our run, we ran past where a lot of our baseball and our softball teams like practice and play. And so as we're taking off, it's like 6 a.m. and the lights are on the field. And I was like, oh, they've got an early morning. And as we're coming back in, and we passed it again, all these cars are like flying in, and you see all the kids, and it says opening day. I guess it was like fall ball. But I thought of you, and I was like, man, Allison would be doing this. Like, I just think of all the parents, like, coming in for all these early games. I'm like, "Oh," and here I'm finishing a 15-mile run.
Which I will say, like, with fall ball, we're not into the travel where we have early games or weekend games. Right now, we're just doing rec league with his travel team. But he did get his first hit this week, which was exciting because my aunt and uncle came to watch him, as well as my high school best friend. Her family came. So he had a handful of people there watching him that night. And it was his first time getting a hit off a kid's pitch. Of course, he comes running up to me. He's like, "Mom, where's my $5? You told me if I got a hit, I'd get $5." I'm like, "Yeah, that was a couple games ago, but we took him out to dinner to eat, and that he was okay with that." But yeah, so that was exciting for him. It's funny, they remember the smallest little things, but the things you want them to remember, they never do. Like, can you pay that much attention to, like, the things that matter? Oh, no. Yeah. What about you, Becky?
So school, when I was thinking about what to talk about this week, I'm like, what? I don't even remember this week. I feel like we were just so busy that I don't even remember, like nothing really stands out except for my Saturday run. So I have been running with a few people from work, which is really nice. One moved up to Maine over the summer, and she worked with us for a couple of years, but now she lives in Maine. So I definitely miss her when we run. But I have another person that I run with from work and her neighbor. And so it's been really nice because we've been going on these long runs because my coworker's neighbor is running in the Berlin Marathon, which is coming up on Sunday, a week from today. And well, I guess by the time this airs, it will have already happened a couple days ago. But she has had like a couple of 20-milers in a row, and then we'll meet her later. She'll have already done half of it or more than half of it, and we'll meet up with her. Last week, she was up to 24 miles by the time we finished our run, and she was like, let's just walk a couple more. So she did an entire marathon in one of her training runs, which I'm like, why? Like, I don't know. But she's also one that has done she's done a marathon in every state. So she's done
Mhm.
over 50 marathons. So now she's going to Berlin, and that's pretty awesome. But really, the highlight of my week is just being able to catch up with someone from work while we're running because we're able to hash out the week. And she works in a pretty difficult classroom. And so there's just a lot going on. And by the time we're finished with our run, we've like been able to decompress from the week and move on with our weekend. So it's been really nice. And she lives in a community, which we have a million and one of them down here. And so we just like run on the trails within her community, which is pretty big. And so, yeah, that was the highlight of the week, just getting in those longer runs. And I'm in this step challenge with my district, which my district is huge. And I'm in fourth place. And I looked at my husband and I was like, I want to be in the top three. He goes, yeah, but your district is huge. So being in fourth place is pretty good. I said, yeah, well, maybe I need to go on some longer runs. Maybe I'll start marathon training now so that I can get up into the top three.
You sound like me. It's that competitiveness. Anytime there
Mhm.
is, I love work competitions that are like that. I mean, any competition. That's why I do this workout app called Way Better, and you put money in, like you bet money and you do the workouts, and then you get your money back if you complete them. And then anybody who doesn't complete them, that money gets divided up. And I tell you what, that holds me accountable to get my workouts in, and I'm so competitive and a penny pincher that I won't mess up. So I'll always get my money back and then some. So it helps me too, because then I do more than just like the cardio and the steps. Like I'll do the ab workouts, so or like the squats and push ups, and it helps me do other things besides just running. But yeah, it's that competitiveness for me and that accountability. So I totally get where you're coming from. Like, why fourth when I could be third? And then you're going to get into third, and they're going to be like, what about second? I could see that inching up for
And
sure.
then I look at how many steps ahead are they of me? And I'm like, that's just a couple
Yes,
more miles. Like, no, I can do that. Yeah, I'm going to get there. I'm definitely going
you
to be
are.
in the top three when this is all done. And I'll just run a couple more miles on a Saturday. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just
When does it
fine.
end?
That's a good question. I think it ends at the beginning of November, maybe.
You got time.
I do have time, but so do other people, and that's my concern. I said, "What are these other people doing? What are they training for? What is happening?" Oh,
You
no, it
just
ends
got to start
October
walking in
18th.
place while you're teaching. Just pace, pace,
That
pace.
I know. It ends October 18th,
All
so I have a
right.
little over a month.
Okay.
I can get in more miles then.
Mhm. For
Yeah.
sure.
I'm like you, though. I don't feel like I had anything too memorable this week. It was busy. It wasn't supposed to be. We were supposed to be slowed down, and somehow it wasn't. Like Monday, the boys had ninja, and then I know we had something that happened that night that we did after. Tuesday, I had to go pick up Mums for his fundraiser, which was a nightmare because I could only fit 11 in my car and we had 26 to pick up. So I had to make, and we live 20, 25 minutes away. So I had to drive all the way home, drop them off. And at that point, I just messaged my neighbor and I was like, hey, can the boys come over and hang out at your house till John gets home? And then came all the way back, which them not being in the car freed up a couple more spots for them. But it was awful. They weren't labeled, and I had like 7 unlabeled that I didn't know what color they were because they weren't bloomed. It was a nightmare. Like my sister, they did mums for her, my nieces, and they had 60 to pick up. And I've yet to talk to her about it to see how they made that work because their truck was supposed to come in on Thursday and it didn't. It got delayed till Friday, and then it got delayed till Saturday, and there was people like who took work off Friday to come pick them up because you have to have arrangements to do that. And then Saturday they were all in tournaments. So I don't know how I've yet to talk to her. I need to figure out how her mom fundraiser pickup went, if it was any better than mine. And then Wednesday, I finally got to go to the running club race. And then we got home, and within 2 minutes of being home, the boys are out in the driveway playing. And I get a message from Oliver's friend's mom saying, hey, random question. Do you live on blah, blah, blah road? We're pretty sure we just saw Oliver. I'm like, yes, we do. Like, we just got home. Well, they were driving back from their oldest daughter's cross country and happened to be going down our road. in the middle of nowhere. We live a half an hour out of like Fort Wayne and they were driving down our road. So they turned around and came back and had like an impromptu play date. I'm like, what are the odds that he gets to have a play date at our house? Like all his friends live there. And the fact that they would have been driving by at that right moment, at that right time, and that I actually saw my text message. And then the next night we delivered more mums, and then he got another impromptu play date at a friend's house because we were delivering their mums. I'm like, kid, you've gotten more play dates this week, and they were not planned. And so then they were like long nights, and I was not intending to have those things happening. We were supposed to be home and have our evenings to ourselves, and that did not happen this week. So I'm hoping that maybe this week we don't have anything. So hopefully, no games. We have no games this whole week. So fingers crossed, it's a low key week. That's what I'm hoping for.
So I'm curious, these mums, when I think of mums, I think of the homecoming mums, and that's just a Texas thing. And I can like explain the homecoming mums from Texas in a little bit. But like, are they big up there for y'all? Like those type of mums, like the, you know, down here it's too hot. So I'm sure it's not like a big thing for us.
Yeah. I mean, mums are very, like, in the fall, it's a very popular flower. Like, most everybody gets mums. But I'm trying to think, like, are they different for you guys? Or,
I just Googled it.
Okay, you want me to explain what they are down here when I hear mums and what I think?
yeah.
Okay, so football in Texas is huge. And so when you have homecoming for football, it is like even bigger. And so when you go to homecoming, you get a not a real mum, but a fake mum, like the flower's fake. And they used to be about this big, and they'd have ribbons coming down
Uh,
and bells, and they would have your name and your date's name and your year. So they used to be this big. Now they are like the size like this big. They
I just
light
looked them
up.
up too.
They've got you did
I did. That's like a bouquet on steroids.
look up Texas homecoming mom because they are like they say everything's bigger in Texas. It is so
Oh
true.
my gosh.
So when you kept talking about mums, I was like, I know she's talking about the real flower, but if you're to say that down here, people are thinking like the ones that you like put the bells and the whistles and the lights and it's this big and you try to attach it to your shirt or you like wear it like a necklace. So each year it gets bigger and bigger. So by your senior year, they're like this big. You wear them like a necklace and you can't function for the day. Like you just walk around and it's this big thing. My senior year, mine was probably, it took probably about most of like my chest. It wasn't like huge, but a guy that I was really good friends with, he asked me, and so his mom got mine made, and it wasn't super elaborate. There were other people's that are like crazier than the one I got. I think mine was pretty tame. It didn't light up, it just had bells. So I made a lot of like chink, chink, chink when you walked. Like you can hear people down the hallway with them. It's the craziest thing. And then the boys, they have boutonnieres. And so they put theirs on their arm. And it's like they wear it around their arm and it's a little flower. And then they got little like ribbons, but the ribbons like come down to like here. Not like the girls where it's dragging the ground, it's lighting up, it's singing to you. Yeah.
That's a new thing to me. And I am like just in awe looking at these pictures. And I love Becky, your face, as I know you're looking at them too. I was like, I agree. I agree. Like I just can't stop looking at them. I'm like gonna go in a black hole of looking up all of these different mums. Like some of them are insane.
Like, yeah, I mean, really what we're talking about is the ones in the pots and it just blooms and they're like
Uh-huh.
these autumnal colors and you put them on your porch, but not what I am looking at on Google.
Maybe we need to reinvent our mum fundraiser.
Yeah. So, mind y'all, people will pay thousands of dollars. Yes, I said thousands, thousands of dollars for these. So, my freshman through junior year, we bought my own. So, I knew what we spent on those. My senior year, I don't know what the guys spent on it. But now, what they spend on them, hundreds to thousands. Like,
It's like like a blue
insane.
ribbon blown up and like exploded, vomited all over Like, I
Yes.
I just cannot get over it. They like, this one picture, they're all wearing them, and they look like they're wearing all dresses, like, the way it looked.
And then literal bells and whistles.
How is that
Yes.
even
You know how
comfortable?
many
Like,
so
who
I
came
had,
up with
like,
this
little
idea?
cowbells on mine, and so mine would be like, "Chink, chink, chink, chink." There were some girls that had, like, the full-size cowbell, not like the little bells, the full-size cowbell, and it'd be like, "Ding, ding."
And this is worn in school?
Yes.
So how is teaching going on that day? Do they
It
like
doesn't happen on homecoming day. You kind of go into that Friday knowing that your whole day is going to be probably interrupted by the incessant homecoming mom noise. So you don't plan anything for that day. There are numerous like high school teachers I've talked to that they're like, "Oh, we're just going to watch something. Oh, we're just going to there is because you have to try to walk to class with this thing on you. It's almost impossible. My mom's like, "No, they were real when I was in high school." I wanna say the late '80s, they took a turn to the fake ones so they wouldn't, like, die throughout the day.
Yeah. The 1970s. So they started with, like, craft stuff.
Yes. And so women here make, like, full part-time jobs of them. Like, there's already people ordering their mums, making them, like, all of it. At Run Club on Saturday, there we had some teenagers join us, some cross country runners, and one little boy asked this other girl to homecoming with a little sign. It was real cute. So I know all of our high schools in the area are having their homecomings over the next like few weeks. So if I see any really good, I'm gonna share this with you. So my alma mater just had their homecoming this past week, and they made the biggest mock-up of a homecoming mum and hung it in the main quarters. So like you're talking a two-story, totally exposed like main hall, and they hung the mum at the very top and it like hung all the way down to the floor. Yes. I'll have to find the picture and send it to y'all because I saw it on social media last week.
Sounds like a great Halloween costume for up north. For up
Yes.
north. Well, I'll walk around and people are like, "What is that?" I'm like, "I'm a Texas mom. Don't know what it is, go look it up."
Y'all are going to have to go tell your friends like Katie talked about this mum business. This is crazy.
this is how I'm gonna advertise for this episode. Wanna know what a Texas mom is? Go listen to our episode.
Yes. It's crazy. If we think about September, what has been the hardest part so far? I would say from the beginning to now, as we're like mid September, the hardest part of teaching life for you guys so far.
I think it's making sure that I'm on track. Like, I think I'm supposed to be more ahead than I'm at, but there's like a lot of things that need to happen before we get there. But then we're moving into week 6 of school. So we have 3 more weeks until conferences and our first report card. And we're now giving our first assessment, I think, coming up in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, are they going to be ready? Should they be ready? It's their very first assessment, but also, I guess I should say it's their very first class assessment, but we have also had our first day of like state testing in the sense like we do the fall, winter, and spring state testing. And it's their benchmark and trying to figure out what their baseline is. I have them so conditioned on you open up your computer, you sign in with your sign in, you go to either this program or that program. And so, of course, they're like, what? This is not what my screen looks like. And I mean, I think that's what we're dealing with in kindergarten now that I have them in a routine. And as soon as that routine breaks, they're like, wait a second, what are we doing? This is not what I know to do. And they've become so independent that I think the hardest part is breaking them from a routine and We are gonna break routine a little bit coming up tomorrow. It's International Dot Day. I don't know if you've heard of that, but that's tomorrow.
I need to
I
change my shirt for tomorrow. Put on a
mm,
polka dot.
I just made a shirt for tomorrow with my cricket. And then at the end of the month, we're having Johnny Appleseed Day. So that's going to be a little change. But I think they've gotten into the routine now. So the hardest part is when we do special stuff that their energy is really good, but it just gets a little crazier. But it's cool to see them get a little crazier because they now know the routine. And so they know what to do and they're becoming more independent.
Fun fact, did you know that Johnny Appleseed is actually buried up in Indiana where I teach in Fort Wayne?
Wow.
Yes.
Did not
So
know
we
that.
actually have Johnny Appleseed Festival next weekend here. Yeah, we have like a whole festival.
That's fun. I'm so
So hearing
excited.
you mention that you guys are celebrating that, I'm like, oh, down south? Like, 'cause it feels like such an up here thing.
I know I haven't done it since I taught first grade 14 years ago when I was living up north. I was like, "Do you guys even know what apple trees are? Have you ever eaten an apple off the tree?" You know? But it's gonna be a lot of fun. I saw a reel where they can make their own, like, little apple pie in a cup. So, I think I'm gonna do that with them. I think I'm gonna do that with them because why not?
Yeah,
Perfect
our
Christmas snack
kindergarten
time.
does that. Our kindergarten teachers do a Johnny Appleseed Day, and they rotate classrooms. And I know one of them, they make apple sauce. In one of the rooms, they do like apple juice tasting, like different apple things, like in each of the rooms. And they make little hats. They're so cute,
Yeah, they're
but
gonna bring in
fun.
apples, and we'll do a taste test, and it'll all be centered around, everything that I'm teaching in the day, like math, science, social studies, whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah, I said I'm gonna take advantage of these cutie days. Every single one of them this year, I'm gonna do. And then next year, I'll be like, maybe that wasn't great, or maybe I don't know. We'll see. But this year, I'm doing it all. Dot
Yeah.
day, oh, we're doing it. Johnny Appleseed Day, we're doing it. We're gonna do apple crafts. We're just gonna do it all.
Yeah. I feel like I have a group this year that I can actually do some like room transformations and do some fun things with. I did it a couple years ago with a class. We did like a Starbucks transformation. It was like all about book genres. But I
Oh,
feel like
yes.
this group is mature enough and respectful enough that I can do more of those this year. And that is my goal is to do more. Like right now, we're doing like textbook, like setting and plot and all that. And like we're doing summary and theme. And when we're done with our like cumulative unit, I want to do a week long like theme where I saw a teacher and my coworker actually sent me the thing where it was like they're doctors and they're doing surgery and they have to like piece things together. I'm like, or like a detective type theme. I want to do that, like make a whole unit of it for the week, like where they just have fun. But
So I did one like that a few years ago with the Boston Massacre, and I turned my room into a crime scene.
yes,
And it
I
was
think that'd
super
be so
fun. The
much
kids were
fun.
like, "Wait, what?" And I put like caution tape, and they didn't know. I just like caution taped the room, and they were like, "Wait, what?" And then all like it was like fake bloody like papers on and they had clues around the room, and they had to like investigate and figure out what happened. So
Yeah. Just those are the memories that the kids are gonna like, those are the things that they're gonna remember. They're not gonna remember your math lesson on any given day unless you do something to make it memorable. So, yeah, I think it's so important to find ways to be more engaging with the kids than just traditional worksheets and lessons. And if you gotta, especially nowadays, like to try to catch their attention. I mean, I remember those moments that my teachers did, the things that stood out and were fun.
I remember my Johnny Appleseed lesson. They made applesauce. I remember
Yeah.
that one.
That sounds horribly messy. I'm not doing that. No. I'll let them taste some applesauce. We'll do that. Not making
Yeah.
it.
Just go buy the Mott's and put it in little cups. They don't need to see it came from the store.
Nope. Yeah.
All right. So, our next question for teacher survival is what's your go to teacher survival item? Is it coffee? Is it snacks? Is it just fun teacher gadgets or pens or sticky notes? What is it?
So mine is either coffee in the morning or sour candy snacks by the afternoon. This past week, or actually the last 2 weeks, the ice machine at our central office has been out. And so I've been having to I know it's the worst thing, and it's the Sonic ice too. And so luckily I can leave to go get ice. And so every day I'm like driving down to the little gas station. It's like 5 minutes away and getting ice. Well, there's like a limit or like a minimum that you have to spend for the ice because or to use my card. And so in addition to the cup of ice, I've walked out almost every day with some different type of sour candy or the mint. And so my non-existent snack drawer now has like 3 different types of sour candies. I think I have like the trolley worms, the trolley octopuses, another type of sour candy. I have like 2 things of like Mentos, and then today so this is my one thing, and people you either love it or you hate it. I love candy corn, and I bought the 2-pound bag of candy corn today, and it's going to my office tomorrow. And I don't care who makes fun of me. I love candy corn, so I'm about to like get all the work done and eat my candy corn.
Don't they have like a chocolatey type of like isn't there a doesn't Brock's have like a I know there's the traditional candy corn, but isn't there a chocolate one too?
I think there
Like one of the
is.
layers is chocolate.
Yes, but I am like straight normal candy corn, like
Okay.
OG candy corn. That's yep.
The orange, the white, and the yellow.
Mm-hmm. I know. So we were like, "You're eating wax." My husband tells me that all the time. Like, "You're eating candle wax." I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna enjoy my candy corn candle wax."
That would not be my go-to, but the sour candies, I love Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, same.
And the sour watermelons and the peach rings and yeah. Mine though has been and this is bad and I try not to do it all the time. So I have my coffee in the morning, but then I'll have an energy drink in the afternoon.
I have
So
been so guilty of that.
sometimes it's Prime, sometimes it's really whatever I can get my hands on. Sometimes it's Alani, sometimes it's Celsius, sometimes it's I don't know, but I need it. I just need it to not only get through after school, but I need to get through the night so that I'm not so cranky, but it's bad. I know we're not supposed
Mhm.
to. We're not because it's not good for us.
No,
I
I
know,
have been
but
the exact
it's
same way, and my bladder it's catching up. Like, I have to pee nonstop, and I know it's because of the caffeine that I'm intaking to get me and it's just like you, it's to get me through the night. I can do my protein coffee all morning, and then by noon or, like, right at 3 o'clock, which I know I shouldn't, I'm having an Alani some days, and then I'm having to pee nonstop, and when I have to pee, like, it hits me. It doesn't just, like, creep up. It's like, I have to pee. I have to pee. I have to pee. And it's gotten so bad. But then I'm also bad because I'm doing that and I'm not drinking the water that I should be drinking. Found myself struggling with that because I've been going towards my caffeine, which I need to just detox off of. Sounds really
Me
bad, but it
too.
is a drug. It is a drug.
you know what I will say? I think Alani needs to sponsor teachers
Yes.
Yes.
because the amount of people that I know that drink Alani's, like, so before I left my school, I kind of introduced everybody to Alani's a few years back. And I was like, y'all, I swear by this one. And they're like, no, we like Red Bull. And so I slowly started bringing like cases of Alani's. And I get knocks on my door. Hey, I hear you have a case full of Alani's. Yeah, I do. And so then I became the Alani dealer at school. And so they knew everyone's like, hey, I hear you have the Alani's. Yeah, I do. They're in the fridge. Help yourself. Like, and my husband's like, are we buying Alani's for the whole school? And I'm like, well, like if somebody needs it, afternoon pick me up. And we just kept the fridge stocked full of Alani's, and we would take turns of who would buy a case, and we would just keep it stocked for the campus. But I think Alani needs to sponsor teachers. Just saying.
Have you seen that Alani has, I think it's like a pumpkin spice, pumpkin cream or something?
It's disgusting.
I was going to say, it
I
does
don't
not
want
sound
It's
good.
horrible.
I don't want to try it, but I
Okay.
saw that and I was like, oh, I'm about to
Mhm.
try the witch's brew.
That one's my favorite. I love that one, but they only have it in the fall. So,
I know
like
that's why
right
I've been waiting. I've been waiting. It's sitting
It-
in my class fridge.
and you're gonna like it, and then when it goes away, you're gonna be really sad because I really like it. And every time it goes away, because they've had it the last 2 years, I'm like, it's gone. Okay, no more. But I tried their pumpkin one. It was so bad. I had to go out and get another energy drink because I needed something. And I was like, I can't
Ugh.
not. It was terrible. I took one sip and it went straight in the trash can. It was not for me. And I like pumpkin, but that was not it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
I like the purple, the cosmic dust, and the orange
Mm-hmm.
kiss. But I did
I
like
like
their
orange
winter one
kiss.
that they came out with this past winter.
What was
Mhm.
I
that?
can't remember what the name was, but it had like a coconut. It's like it made me honestly feel like it was beachy, but it had like a
Yeah, it
coconut
did
flavor
taste
with it.
beachy.
And it was either people liked it or they didn't like it. I felt like
Yes.
I liked it.
Which I did hear they redid the formula on that one. They're bringing it back, so it'll probably be here in like 2 months, but they redid it.
Yeah.
Because Allison, like you, I loved it. Like I was like, oh, this is good. And
Yeah.
then when it went away, I was like, oh, okay.
I saw one that looks like a cranberry frost. I wonder if that's what it was. It was like a advertise.
Yeah, I
don't
think they
know.
talked about bringing a cranberry.
Yeah. Becky, what is your
I don't see,
favorite?
I'm Googling it, of course. But the watermelon wave is pretty good, but then the sherbet swirl I thought was awesome.
It was too
I
sweet
loved
for
it.
me.
I mean, they're all pretty good. Do they have a cherry one?
The cherry slush and then the cherry twist. I don't like the slush, but I
It
like
was
the
just like
cherry
a cherry
twist.
limeade. Yeah,
Yes.
it's like a cherry limeade.
I really haven't come upon one that I don't like.
Well, you're not gonna like
So,
the pumpkin.
well, I'm
Don't
not going
don't
to
do
try
it.
that one.
Don't do that one.
Have you tried the cotton candy? I haven't tried that one yet.
It was really sweet. And
Mhm.
like my boss likes Alani's too. And she tried the cotton candy. She's like, oh, it's real sweet. And then I walk in her office last week and she had it again. And I was like, I thought we said this was too sweet. She's like, I know, I just forgot to grab it. And I was like, okay. She's like, I just need the caffeine. So at that point, she didn't care about the sweetness. She just wanted the caffeine.
Yeah.
Okay. So coffee. We did talk about like needing coffee in the morning and then an energy drink in the afternoon. But cups of coffee in the morning, how many are we really having?
Actually, I'm only having one because I don't have time to have any more. But if I did, I would.
Yeah. I mean,
I would.
technically, measurement wise, I guess more because I do a 20 ounce and I put my protein in it, but then I fill it to the top with my cold brew. So it's probably at least 2.5 cups of cold brew by the time I fill it up and then put the ice in the mix. You wonder why I have to pee so bad. And cold brew is just even more of a stimulant for
Mm-hmm.
having to pee.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I guess I would say it depends how I make my coffee because if it's made in like a Keurig, then 1 cup. But if I make an espresso, then I do like the instant, like Nescafe espresso. I make it really strong. So maybe that's more than one. Maybe that is.
Mine's like
Yeah.
in a bigger cup, like Allison. And like I put my creamer and my collagen in it and stuff. But my cup is like this big. So it's probably like 2 cups, 2.5.
Well, we get up early.
I know.
We get up early. So we wait a long time to have coffee.
Sometimes I think it'd be interesting to try to go a week without it though, just to see what it really, I know, give me that look. Just know, is it for me? Sometimes I think I just like the taste, or is it just a placebo, or does it really give me the boost? I don't know. Sometimes I question it. But if I went a week
So-
without it, I'd probably find out real quick.
I know I'm going to have to pull back when we start IVF. And I've even been told, like, you may not be able to have caffeine. And I'm like, what
Not
am I going to do
true.
without my coffee? Some
Not
protocols
true.
are like telling you to pull back on it. Like, there's a girl I know who's going through it. She had to pull back completely on her protocol, like on her caffeine. And I was like,
I did 1 cup a day.
if I can stick with the one, I think I'll be okay. But I like the
Mhm.
taste, like not just the caffeine, but I love the
Mhm.
taste of coffee. So I would just be so sad. I would
But you
probably
can
go
do
decaf.
decaf.
And I'd be like, find me a
Yeah.
decaf.
You can. The struggle is going to be that non-energy drink in the afternoon. You definitely
know.
gonna do that.
I know.
Because there's
Energy drink.
caffeine in other things too
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you just have to be mindful of. But yeah.
There's this cool protein drink we found at Costco.
Mhm.
It's a like bubbly lemon blueberry protein drink, and it's fizzy and it's really good. It's not powdery. It's not. Yeah, look it up. Becky's like, hold on, I gotta look it up. I forget the name of it, but I have it in the afternoon, and it's like it's got the protein in it, but it has no caffeine in it. It's not milky, it's not chalky,
Mhm.
and it's
I did try it.
so good.
I
At
tried
first
it
I
because
was like
Mhm.
I was really leery of it. I've had it every week for the last 2 weeks, and we ran out and I was like, "Can we get more? I need more of this." So it's like a
I
nice
was at
little
Costco today. I should have looked.
it was really good. I
I think
that's like one drink I'm like, "Try it."
I tried it a couple weeks ago because it was a sample, and I was like, "Oh, that it tastes like an energy drink,
It
and
does.
it has the protein."
And it has
Yeah,
no caffeine. That's what I like. So
yeah,
that could be my replacement.
What was it called?
yeah.
Gosh.
It's, Genius Gourmet
Yes.
Sparkling Genius I don't know, it's just like sparkling protein.
Mhm.
It's got 30 grams of protein, 0 sugar. They have a blue raspberry lemonade flavor.
Mhm.
It's really good.
It really is.
It
It's
tastes sweet
refreshing.
without it being sweet. Yeah.
Not everyone's gonna go to Costco and go find this
Yes.
drink, and then when I go to Costco again here in a few weeks, it's gonna be sold out and be like, "Ugh, all the people went and got it."
Well, I think we need to reach out to these people so they can be our sponsor.
Mhm.
Then we can do a taste test on here.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause so I
Since
was
there's
just
no
looking up
caffeine.
There's no caffeine.
Yeah.
you guys talking about proteins that don't have it. Have you guys had the Oath Nutrition Clear Protein?
No, but I have recently heard a lot about the clear protein.
Same.
One of my
I think
students
that's
got
what
it
this
for
drink
me.
is.
Yeah, one of my students got it for me at the end of last year. And it's a powder that you mix with water, like cold water, but they've got different flavors and I really like they've got a pina colada one and I drank it all the time this summer because it made me feel like I was on a beach somewhere drinking a pina colada, but it was a protein drink and I was just looking it up and it does not have caffeine either. And they've got a bunch of different flavors, but it's a
I
clear
think that's the move
protein.
now for protein.
Yeah.
Is like
Mhm.
clear protein, things that have like a fruity or fresh taste. Cause like I think people were getting kind of sick of the milky,
Oh,
chalky, like today we were in Costco and Vital Proteins just came out with their version of a protein shake. And it
Mhm.
was chocolate. And I said, and they had the samples out. And I'm like, oh, let's try it just because I want to see. It was not, I didn't like it. It was not my thing. Like you're not gonna like every protein shake. But yeah, no, I like the clear bubbly protein drink I have. That's really good. I think you'd like it, Allison. If you talked about that oath one, you're gonna like this one.
yeah. I'll have to check it out for sure. Just to change things up, especially with protein.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move into runner life.
Do y'all log every run on your watch, or do you run by feel?
I actually had this debate this summer. Somebody that I followed on TikTok made a comment, and it was like a question: would you rather run without your music or without your watch? And I had a really hard time like picking that answer. And then I realized I would rather run without my watch and go by my music because I know my tempo with my music. I know like about how long, like one song length is about how many miles, like, or roughly how many songs I get through in a mile. So I could easily just not have my watch as long as I have my music, I think, and go out and run. And honestly, yes, I track everything, but I'm not like diligent about, oh, I got like 3 miles and tomorrow I have to get 5 or so. Tracking to me is not huge right now, and I'm also not training for anything. I think if I was training, then that would be a totally different story.
I wish that I could be a runner by feel, but I'm not. And I mentioned earlier about that step challenge. So, absolutely not. Everything's being tracked 100%. But also, because the people that I run with, they are also like, we're going to get this in. And I literally walked by my car. I was like, okay, like, yeah, have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you Monday. And I looked at my watch and it said 8.84. And I like had a towel to like, wipe myself off before I was going home. And I literally threw the towel back in my car and I said, absolutely not. We are going to at least 9 miles. And my friend said, yeah, let's go walk around the block again. And so her block is pretty big. So by the time I got back to my car, it was 9.3. But I was like, yep. And my husband looked at me and he goes, yeah, but 9.3 is a little weird. I said, no, it's not. 9.3 is 15K. So yeah, this is where we're at, people. We do not run by feel.
I
Absolutely
feel
not.
like
I
so
love to
many of
track
us
my
are
miles.
guilty of that. that when you get to the end and you're looking at
I
your watch going, oh, nope, I got to go a little bit further. I can't tell you how many times I went past my house back and forth just to get that even amount or that like rounded up. Or I don't want to stop at 325. I might as well go to 350. Like that's why my husband won't run with me because he's always like, you say you're going out for like 1 mile or two, and it ends up being 5. He's like, I will not run with you. Like, yeah, you're not wrong.
Sometimes it's the hazard of being a runner.
Yep, it
So
is.
we joke here because we track everything, and we joke that if you don't get that little point oh 0.01 or oh 0.02 over that mile, you didn't pay the Strava tax. And you have to pay the Strava tax in order for Strava to give you full credit. So let's say you're running and you hit 4.99 and it's like right at 5 on the dot. Strava is going to cut you back 0.02 and say that you ran 498. I'm doing that with Strava. I ran my 5. So I'm going to run a little over 5. So if Strava does take away 1 or 2, it'll still hit 5. And so every time I'm like running past people, like I'll be running in from our long run and we're coming back into the parking lot. And they're like, are you done? I'm like, hold on, I got to pay my Strava tax. And so that's the joke of don't forget to pay your Strava tax so that not just your Garmin or your Coros or whatever you wear, when it ties into Strava, it gives you that tax. So we are not a run by feel and we are so bad about it. It's the worst. Maybe it's one of our flaws of as runners, but yeah, it's a thing. The Strava tax.
I'm happy with that flaw.
Yeah. Speaking of
I will own it.
tracking, and we're talking about that, are you guys Garmin or Apple?
Garmin.
Apple.
I'm Garmin. I was Apple up until this summer and I switched over. My Apple Watch would not hold a charge. I was sick of charging it and I switched over to my Garmin. I can wear it for like a full week and not have to charge it. I absolutely love it, which was honestly because I was like gung ho Garmin for the longest time in my life until maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And my husband got me an Apple because I never wore watches. And then I got the Apple Watch and I was like, oh, I love this. And I stopped wearing my Garmin and just stuck to the Apple. But now that I've went back to the Garmin, I'm like, yep, now I remember why I loved it. Yeah. And it takes like 30 minutes to get a full charge. Not even that. So, and I wear it to bed.
So that was me. So I had a Garmin like 265 up until when the Apple Watches came out. And I told my husband at the time, it was probably 2017. I was like, man, I really want an Apple Watch. So he surprised me with an Apple Watch. This is when me and Apple broke up. 2021, it was still like COVID was still around, but there was this one race that was happening down here, the only race. And it was a New Year's Day marathon. And it was 3 loops. And so I had done the first 2 loops and I came back for the third, and my brother-in-law was going to join me for that last loop to help me get me through the rest of it. So I said, okay. Halfway through that loop, the watch died. And I was like, you just died on a marathon. On a marathon.
You might as well have not done the marathon at all.
I know, right?
And so he pulls out his little Garmin and he starts his Garmin to track the rest of my marathon. After that, I said, we're done, Garmin. I mean, Apple, we're done. Like Garmin, and so I ended up winning a Garmin at a running event. And so it was like a Garmin 55. And so there was 2 months straight. I rocked 2 watches. I had an Apple and a Garmin. And so I was like double watching it because I wanted to see how they compared. I wasn't ready to break up with Apple yet. I was like, okay, let's see. After the 2 months, I ditched Apple and I said, we're done. And I went to Garmin, and I've now upgraded twice with my Garmin. So I will never go back to Apple. And my watch has a cool flashlight on it.
Nice.
My Apple doesn't have that. I have a cool flashlight on mine.
I spent years with Fitbit and I thought, okay, this is fine. Like, this is great. It's tracking things. It's, whatever. And then my husband surprised me with an Apple Watch on Valentine's Day, which I was not expecting because we do not do things for Valentine's Day. We just don't. But he got it and I was like, okay, all right. And so it connects so well, just with,
does.
it does.
It does.
And I just charge it every day. But if it's not fully charged before a long run, like, I don't know that it's
Yeah.
gonna make it through.
I'm like
So
Katie. I
Probably
was to the
won't.
point where I don't do my runs till late in the evening, and I would get on to do them,
mm,
and my battery would like die, or I had like 3%. I'm like, it's going to die in the middle of this workout, and then it's not going to count. Like when
Mhm.
especially because I was doing the app where it was tracking to get the point. I'm like, I can't do this, especially when I'm not
You were
doing my
trying to close your
runs until
rings.
later. Yes, that
my
was an
rings must be
addiction too,
closed.
though.
Yes.
That was an addiction.
Yeah.
It it is. It is.
Unhealthy things that we did.
I get and unhealthy things to try and be healthy.
Yes,
Like, think about that.
I guess it's a
Oh,
good
and
addiction.
then my favorite okay, so I was so guilty of this, and I will admit to it. When the watch tells you to earn your stand hour, y'all, I'd be laying on the couch, and I would just do that. My husband would be like, "Are you doing that for your stand hour?" I said, "Yeah. I gotta make sure I get my 12 standing hours." And so I just lay on the couch and just start waving my hand, and he's like, "That is cheating." And I was like, "But I closed that ring."
I remember going on vacation once and having like a 12-hour drive, and I would do the same thing. I'm like, all right, I have to have so many steps, and it's going to want me to have that. Or have you ever like gotten on and been like, okay, let me lower my goal for today because it's not like I'm traveling and I'm not going to hit it. This is a bad week. I need to
Sometimes
lower
that's
my
a
goal.
worry. It's a worry. I'm sitting in PD. That's a worry.
Yeah.
If you had one extra free hour this week, would you spend it on lesson planning or a run?
Running, hands down. Give me another
Yeah.
hour of running.
Yeah. I would rather run or sit and read a book because that's my therapy. That's my me time for sure.
On my walk out of school on Friday, I don't know if you saw my stories, but I left and I was like, I don't want to leave, but I know I have to go pick up my kid. And I said, I could have stayed an extra hour and gotten stuff done, but at the same time, the to-do list is always going to be there. There are things that have to get done, and those are should be at the top of your to-do list. But I always think, well, if I had an extra hour, like, no, I could get so much more done. But like also, could I? Would I? But that run is so much more therapeutic.
Mhm.
Thanks for sipping and sharing a moment with us today. We can't wait to keep showing up with you each week. Messy, caffeinated, and real.
And if you liked what you heard, we'd be so grateful if you'd follow, subscribe, or share this with your teacher, bestie, mom group chat, or training partner, or all three. It helps more people find our little corner of chaos and connection.
And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Espresso Yourself Podcast. Tell us what resonated, share your own stories, what topics you want us to cover, or just come say hi.
Make sure to hit follow so you don't miss next week's episode.
Until next time,
Keep showing up.
Keep giving yourself grace.
And espresso yourself.
one sip at a time.
Cheers.